CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you're with us on this Friday, September 26th. An arrest has been made in the hit-and-run case of a child in Hartley Township near Timmins Shores yesterday. OPP say the child was crossing the road to get on the school bus when they were struck. The bus had its stop arm out and flashing lights on. The driver fled the scene and was arrested later in the day. A 37-year-old suspended driver from Hilliard Township faces several charges, including dangerous driving and driving while suspended. The child was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Shifting gears now, it's time for your first check on weather. A cooler day out there. Is that the trend for the weekend? For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Tony, I've got to say, it's going to start warming up. But the thing is, you know what? We caught a weather break courtesy of Environment Canada. It looks like only one city in the northeast tomorrow could be affected by precipitation because we've got loads of sunshine coming up. You're going to love the streak, Tony. I know a lot of people were saying you keep on talking about the chance of showers. When is that sunshine going to arrive? Your first take on weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. All I can say right now, for everyone watching, you'll be delightfully surprised by the run of weather we've got. Sunshine galore in a couple of minutes. Tony?
Thanks for that, Rick. The driver of the boat involved in the fatal collision with a swimmer this summer has been charged. On August 1st, a 52-year-old woman was struck by a boat on Lake Nepawin in Sudbury and was taken to hospital. She died of her injuries the following day. After a months-long investigation, Greater Sudbury police say they are charging the 67-year-old driver of the boat with operate vessel in an unsafe manner. He will be in court to answer to the charges December 2nd. Provincial police are investigating the death of a senior in a long-term care home in West Nipissing. Police say they were alerted to an incident Tuesday morning at the nursing home on Michaud Street in Sturgeon Falls. The 85-year-old was found dead by staff at the facility. The administrator for Au Chateau told CTV officials would not be commenting on the investigation. Police saying only they will have more details as the investigation progresses. More than 300 Canada Post employees are on strike in Sudbury, Espanola and Manitoulin Island as workers nationwide walked out Thursday night. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
Canada Post employees are walking in front of the main branch in Sudbury as union negotiations have been ongoing for years with no clear answers.
These negotiations have been going on for about 2 years. We were on the line in November till December for 5 weeks, and this is basically a continuation of that strike. We've never stopped being on strike. We went to being legislated back to work under 107, and then we did a overtime ban as strike action to keep our strike alive.
The strike officially started Thursday after an announcement by the federal government that Canada Post would eliminate door-to-door delivery over the next decade and cut costs.
They're getting money nonstop. They've cut their own services for 2 years now. They've told people to go elsewhere, use Purolator because that's their sister company. They've told them to don't put in anything in the mail. So anybody that cares about their company would try to increase services, not push services away.
Bradley says employees are frustrated with the employer's handling of the situation.
The employer really does not care about what we do. At the end of the day, we're just a number, and it's sad that they have negotiated through the public to cut our jobs and our services and the services to the public.
CTV News reached out to the Minister of Government Transformation, Public Works and Procurement and did not receive a response by our deadline. However, in a previous interview with CTV News, he said,
I think the bottom line for me as Minister responsible for Canada Post is I see a corporation that offers an essential service to Canadians, that Canadians care about, that provides a lifeline to rural, remote, Indigenous communities across the country, but that has been losing money left, right, and center over the last 5 years.
It is unclear how long the strike will last, but the union says employees are upset with their employer for the situation. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
A reminder tonight, there could be transit disruptions in the city of Timmins starting at midnight. Labor negotiations continue between the city of Timmins and CUPE Local 1544. Without a deal today, transit workers will be on strike at midnight, affecting all bus services, including Paratransit and the Northern College Express. It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. But first, let's head to Elliott Lake and the Fire Tower Lookout. This is courtesy of the city of Elliott Lake. It's 15 degrees. We are back after this commercial break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Safe to say you should be excited about the weather forecast that you are about to see because it's a good one. Let's check out our forecast radar. Pretty quiet on the front right now with the odd sprinkle which will affect Timmins tomorrow, the chance of a thunderstorm, risk of showers and more, a lot more. So we'll find out. But once that passes Timmins, it's clear sailing with all kinds of sunshine. This is what you can expect in Sudbury Nickel Belt for the next couple of days. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I deliver. It's perfect. 20, 22, 23, 19, and 18. And people are probably saying, don't take credit for the weather forecast. Hey, it was supposed to rain tomorrow. We managed to get through that. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, mainly sunny. Here we go. 5 more days of sunshine at 22, 21, 24, 21, and 20. Beautiful temperatures over the course of the next 5 days. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Okay, 60% chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow at 20. Then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here comes the sun. 21, 23, 18, and 19 with the sun and cloud by next Wednesday. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, 5 consecutive days of sunny skies at 20, 22, 23, 18, and 18 again. But again, take a look at 1 and 2 overnight Tuesday and Wednesday. The cooler temperatures at night are coming. I mean, after all, we are approaching October, so keep that in mind as well as the nights start to cool down. North Bay, West Nipissing, 5 more days of sunshine. Here we go at 21, 22, 23, 19, and 18. Your 7-day forecast is an extension of the 5-day cast with more sunshine. So really, Tony, no disappointments when it comes to the weather, aside from the slight blip in Timmins with the chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow. Clear sailing, loads of sunshine, and you'll like those temperatures. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. You can't complain about that. Residents in the greater Sudbury community of Falconbridge are still searching for answers after a black reddish dust covered the town. As CTV's Alan Everson tells us, now a family fun day has been canceled.
Cleaning crews power wash a deck covered with black dust after a substance was discharged from Glencore's smelter stack Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. The company confirms it deployed several cleaning crews throughout the community. Sarah McDonald is a concerned citizen of Falconbridge who has written a letter to the company, Public Health Sudbury and Districts, and the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, asking for a town hall style meeting to address the smelter dust release.
There's still a lot of questions that have gone unanswered, like what was in the dust that they're calling it. They're calling it normal dust, smelter dust. As a community member, I don't know what's in that, what long-term health effects.
McDonald says there are critical questions that require direct and transparent discussions with the community.
I did have my car washed at a car wash, but it looks like there's damage. It didn't clean it properly. In 6 months from now, is my paint going to be peeling? Am I going to have those issues? So I just have a lot of questions, and I've been noticing on social media, a lot of people have been having the same questions, and they're just going unnoticed. We're kind of getting a blanket statement from Glencore.
The smelter release has prompted the rescheduling of Family Day in the community that was set for this Sunday.
I think our residents' minds right now are on concerns and questions regarding, the situation, and we thought it best to postpone the Family Day. we also want to abide by the guidelines set out by the public health in Sudbury.
Organizers of Family Day say they hope to reschedule the event sometime in October. Right now, the cleanup continues as the community waits for answers. Alana Everson, CTV News, Falconbridge.
And the health unit saying today preliminary results from the dust sample suggest the dust may cause minor and temporary respiratory or skin irritation if the dust was inhaled or remains on the skin. More test results are pending, and the health unit says precautions remain in place. It's a Canadian patrol vessel. Coming up on CTV News at 5, a warship is docked in Sault Ste. Marie for the first time in 10 years.
For this week's edition of Love Local, we're featuring SWSC, the company that oversees the Five, the Spartans, the Cyclones, and the Sudbury Wolves. Well, Love Local continues, and today I'm making a stop at the Sudbury Community Arena. Have to chat with the owner and CEO of SWSC. That's the company that runs the Five, the Cyclones, the Spartans, and of course, we're here in the home of the Sudbury Wolves. Dario Zulich. Dario, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Take us back, and why is this such a passion of yours?
You know, and I didn't grow up thinking that, you know, sports is my thing. It just, one thing led to another. The one thing I always did know, though, I was born in Sudbury. I was raised in Sudbury. I'm going to die in Sudbury, so I'm never going to leave. And so my roots are always and will be forever in Sudbury. And so I never thought I was ever own a hockey team or any of these sports teams until this whole KED thing started. And one thing led to another, and it got me to purchase Sudbury Wolves. And then, you know, and I was very nervous the very first year in buying the Wolves. I'm not sure what it meant to owning a hockey team or any team. But I learned very quickly, right? There's a bigger responsibility than just sitting there watching and have a cup of coffee.
Well, the thing that I love is I'm chatting with you in the stands, because for anyone who goes to a Wolves game or a Five game, you're in the stands, obviously. Last year, the Sudbury Five picking up their first ever championship. That must have been exciting. Sudbury Cyclones making a big splash, too. That must be so exciting for you.
It is. You know, the Sudbury 5 championship was special. It was special. And I mean, I live in this building. I walk up and down these stands all the time, and I interact. I am a fan with everyone else. And so the Sudbury 5 are very, very excited. Very excited with the soccer, right? The getting promoted twice, 2 years in a row. So we're at the top level of our league right now. I think soccer is the next biggest thing. You know, football, we've been introducing all kinds of other you know, add-ons to our football group, and always winning, it seems, right? There's no question I'd like to bring in a championship someday to the Sudbury Wolves, and I'm working on that. We are dedicated on that. It's a hard thing to do, is to win in hockey, but we're committed to it.
When you look at the future for SWSC, what do you see from your perspective?
And so anything to entertain people, to make them, you know, come together and forget the world and join as one. One of my biggest, regardless of what demographic that you try measure, across all demographics, there is a commonality of people that are wanting to come together. Doesn't matter how old or young you are, how much money you have, where you're back, what religion. There's a one thread through all of those demographics that means, or that require, that drives this need for people to come together and feel part of a group. And that's all I'm trying to do, is just to bring us all together as a city. As a city. I don't care about any other city, I care about this city.
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Love Local. Tune in next week to find out where else we'll be. Woo!
Thanks for that, Coop. For the first time in a decade, a Canadian warship is in Sault Ste. Marie. One of the Navy's newest, the HMCS Margaret Brooke, is anchored just outside of the city, offering tours as it makes its way across the Great Lakes. CTV's Corey Nordstrom set sail today to bring us this story.
The Royal Canadian Navy warship HMCS Margaret Brooke is now docked just outside of Sault Ste. Marie, a first for these ships and a long time since a vessel of this caliber has visited the city.
To see HMCS Margaret Brooke here alongside by my community, my heart swells with pride because, you know, to have a ship here where I come from, it's not a normal thing.
Like the ship's honorary captain, Eason, Rear Admiral Jason Armstrong from the Sioux is also on his home turf. While personal reasons may have prompted his visit, business, like addressing the Navy's 20% personnel shortfall, is also top of mind.
There is some targeted recruitment that we're trying to do. We're here just off Sault Ste. Marie to engage with the Sioux College and the technical studies there and to invite them to look at the Navy as an option.
It has given me so much opportunities to travel and to visit and do work that I would probably have never done before.
The ship resides near Gros Cap, with the St. Mary's too shallow for its tour. Those that signed up get a full tour of the warship, inside and out.
We're looking at 10-story building, top, bottom, and top. It's a big step. Pencil, pencil, pencil!
It allows them to see what makes this vessel so unique.
The fact that this warship can do everything from science to anti-narcotics to Arctic sovereignty is just such an incredible feat. And the fact that there's 6 of this class of ship now within the Royal Canadian Navy, it's just amazing.
Tours of the HMCS Margaret Brooke are fully booked for the rest of the weekend. However, naval staff will be at the Roberta Bondar Park over that time. Locals can see the ship from Gros Cap, where a naval boat will be offering tours from the water. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Members of the Royal Canadian Air Force's Air Maintenance Branch Air Attractions team were in North Bay today along with the CF-18 Hornet to engage with Canada College aviation students. The visit was meant to introduce students to Canadian Armed Forces technical trades. Students had a chance to hear presentations and speak with the pilot and the technician, as well as tour the jet. They also learned about the non-commissioned member subsidized training and education plan. It offers full-time paid training or education at post-secondary schools for authorized courses related to military careers. Hockey this week. When we return, we head to Sturgeon Falls, where some play for the love of the game.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company.
Hockey is a game for everyone, young and old. So this week we take a trip to the community of West Nipissing, where a group of old-timers have become friends through playing the sport they love. And one of these senior skaters is a former NHLer. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. sharp, this group of hockey players have the ice reserved. For seniors, Shinny.
The guys are very thankful that they have a place, have playing hockey twice a week.
All the while, they laugh about younger days that were full of NHL aspirations.
You know what? If I played like I play now, when I played junior, I might have made it to NHL.
One of their teammates actually made it to the big league. Between the pipes and his custom-made mask is Ted Ouimet.
I still got that fire in me. I want to play.
Ouimet grew up in Rouyn-Noranda, where even though the winter temperatures dropped to the chilly -50s, he always braved the cold air for outdoor hockey.
I wanted to play badly. I wanted a pair of NHL pads, and I finally got them.
Ouimet worked his way through junior hockey and eventually got the call up from St. Louis Blues GM Scotty Bowman in the 1968-69 season. He laced up his skates in his rookie year to play for one game against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I had a shutout with 2.5 minutes remaining, and they beat us 2-1. 2 deflections off a no LP card. I could have had a shutout, but you know what? I got to be thankful. I got a chance to play.
When Ouimet is not stopping shots, he's either tuning into women's hockey or he's in the stands watching his friends.
But I'll play until the guys chase me off the ice.
The skaters often poked fun at him, bragging about the first time they scored on the former pro.
Since that day, we've been
teasing each other, getting along, and Ted's a great guy.
Oh, yes, definitely, son. I let people know.
It's the love of the game that brings them back each week.
We're passionate about it, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Please join us next week at this same time as we talk with NOJHL Commissioner Rob Mazuka. For Hockey This Week, Eric Tashner, CTV News, Sturgeon Falls.
Thanks for that, Eric. In the OHL, the Sudbury Wolves were in Windsor last night for the first of 3 games on the road.
Just exiting the zone, has to control it. Connors takes a hit on him, tipped in front. Finn Marshall, what a save!
Sudbury netminder Finn Marshall came up big for the Wolves to keep the game close for the Wolves. Marshall would hold Windsor to just 1 goal until the 3rd period, where the Spits would tally 3 more for a 4-0 victory. Tonight, all 3 northern teams are in action. The North Bay Battalion play host to the Ottawa 67s. The Greyhounds will face off against the Kingston Frontenacs, while the Wolves are in Sarnia to play the Sting. All 3 games start at 7 o'clock. There are 4 games tonight in the NOJHL. Powassan is in Kirkland Lake to take on the Gold Miners, while the Iroquois Falls Storm travel to French River. Both those games are 7 p.m. starts. The Timmins Rock venture to the Sioux at 7 p.m. to play the Thunderbirds, while the Hearst Lumberjacks are stateside in Michigan to go up against the Sioux Eagles at 7:30 p.m. Our first community close-up comes to us from the Worthington area of Greater Sudbury. The Crean Hill Gun Club is celebrating its 60th anniversary on Sunday. It serves outdoors people and sport shooters alike. The club is a non-profit organization, and officials say there's going to be a barbecue and local politicians are expected to attend. Dynamic Earth is lighting up once again this fall with Pumpkinferno. The Hands-On Science Center is kicking off its family-friendly Halloween destination tomorrow evening. There are more than 7,000 hand-carved pumpkins. Pumpkinferno runs until the end of October. To 80 Creek Gardens in Englehart, Fall Fun Days are on for another year. It's an outdoor fall farm themed event, including a corn maze, giant apple slingshots, pumpkin bowling, and a straw bale jungle gym. Fall Fun Days are running Saturday and Sunday until the end of October. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.